this is 40 times more important than anything else you're working on. It's really, really powerful. So what I'm about to share with you is based on this amazing book called The One Thing. Out of all the books that I've read, this might be my most favorite book of all time. Good news for us is today we're going to apply the book. Even better than the book. Again, I highly encourage you to read the book, but let's apply it. And the way we're going to apply it is, of course, a worksheet. And let's go through it. We're going to learn some principles first, and then we're going to go to the actual implementation. So The One Thing by Gary Keller focuses on the principle of simplifying your focus on one single task or goal that will significantly increase your success. Okay. The whole point of the book is that to get you down to just one main focus to that. Okay. So what are these principles? One is the one thing. You want to, again, identify the one most important task in any given situation and give it your full attention. For you, this could mean focusing on the one key area of your law firm that will drive the most growth or efficiency. That's number one. Second is the 80-20 Pareto principle. I know a lot of us know about this. I live and breathe this all the time. We want to apply the Pareto principle to our work. We focus on 20% of our efforts that yields 80% of our results. We're not looking to do everything. We're just looking to pinpoint what is the one thing that's going to bring the most of the results and only do that. And everything else we literally don't do and we don't touch at all. So we're going to try to identify what those things are. Third, we're all about this too, is time blocking. Anytime you struggle with getting something done, it's probably most likely because it's not on your calendar. Simple hack. If you need to get done, just add it to your calendar. Just stick to it. Reserving time blocks for your most important tasks. This could be dedicated time for strategic planning, team management, or client acquisition. So as we talked about all these things before, themes for the week, themes for the day, that's basically the idea. Number 4, saying no. Hopefully, I think Paul could attest to this. Getting used to saying no to our team members, to our potential clients, to friends, to people that ask for our attention and our time. We need to be clear on what brings us the most results and just stick to that and say no to opportunities and shiny object syndromes, which these days it's filled, especially with social media. So we want to say no to less important tasks or to delegate them. This is crucial in managing multiple divisions to ensure you're not spread too thin. Number 5, goal setting. We did this a couple weeks ago. Setting specific long-term goals, then breaking them down into smaller achievable steps. And we want to make sure that we have clear goals for the year. That's probably the most important one, but also monthly and weekly, ideally. Also, prioritizing. Not all goals are as significant. Today, we're going to prioritize the top one. Number 7, making sure that we have enough time to rest and recharge, right? We're all about that too. Growth happens when you're not working. Very important. Ensuring that you have downtime, time with your family, time to exercise and be healthy. Number 8, eliminating multitasking. I'm sure a lot of us fall into this trap of doing multiple things at once. Hopefully not right now. Hopefully you're just focusing on this and just focusing on just dealing with one thing at a time. Number 9, not just doing it once, but reviewing and planning. That's why I have you have your goals on your desk. It helps to just review and remind yourself of those clear goals. And number 10, being very conscious of your environment. If your office door is open and people could come in, it leads to a lot of distraction. It doesn't let you have deep work. So make sure you're very cautious of that, create rules and boundaries for your environment to make sure that you maintain your clarity and focus. So with that being said, those as the top themes for the book. Those are obviously the book goes in more detail, but that's the gist of a lot of the concepts. But let's get down to business. So the first question is, what are the key challenges you're currently facing? That is the question. Before you write down anything, just take a moment to think first. Think, what are you dealing with the most right now? Second question is, what's your strength though? So that was the weaknesses or the challenges, but what's your competitive advantage? What's your strengths? And all of us have a bunch of these. We just don't realize it. Describe your ideal vision. It doesn't have to be too fancy. Again, we did these a couple of weeks ago. Could be a little repeat, but it's okay. The more practice is better. And the more crystallized it becomes, the better. But what is your vision? Ideally, what would you want to be doing? And what would you want to be completely handed off? Now, a little review of our law firm goals. What were your 3 goals for your law firm? This should be top of mind. This should be at any time somebody asks you that, you should be very clear. What are your 3 goals for this year? Quickly, hopefully you have it on your desk. If not, please bring it back on your desk. There are 2024 law firm goals that we did a couple of weeks ago. What are those? Hopefully you remember it to be able to write it down. You don't have to look it up. Now, I want you to look at your 3 goals. 3 goals, okay? The question is, based on your reflections and your goals, identify the one area or task that if achieved would have the most significant and positive impact on your firm. Okay, out of those three, which one is by far the most important, basically? And share with me, everybody needs to share with me your one thing. What is that? My one thing is what? Marty says advertising, more concrete. Marty, give me something more concrete. Advertising could mean 200 different things. So Ellen says more accountability among staff. Okay, very good. For our team to have the best team that could run our law firm. Thomas says manage client experience better. Thomas, that's good, but I feel like it could be much, much better in a more concrete way. What does that mean to you? When you say manage client experience better, what does that mean? So how does that affect your life? And what does that mean? Like, does that mean your interaction, like your hands off? Does it mean your clients are happy? Does it mean more Google reviews? Crystallize it a little bit more. Make it more concrete, like more real, more hands-on with the clients. Okay. All right. So how do we accomplish this? All right. Well, we need to crystallize that a little bit more. Okay. So the question is, describe in detail what accomplishing this one thing looks like. Just add specifics to it. Make it more concrete. Again, more specific, more concrete. Go ahead and write this one thing in more detail. Okay? More specifics. Now, we need to break that one thing down into actionable steps. In order for you to achieve this one thing, what's the practical steps you have to take to be able to accomplish that? Okay? What is the first step? That's the first question. What is the first step that you have to take in order to accomplish that? Very important question, right? What is the first step you have to take to be able to accomplish your one thing? Good, Iman. So the question is, what is the first step in order for you to maximize your ROI in your social media marketing? What is that first step for you? So Elizabeth needs help with picking the most important one, either doubling. So this is, Elizabeth, it's for you. It's focusing on profit. So tripling your profit will be your goal. So however much your profit was in 2023, you're looking to triple that. You hone in on profit. Yeah. In order for anything to grow, there needs to be one key metric to help you give you clarity on how do I keep track of this growing. Just to give an example, Elon Musk, when they were working on FSD, the full self-driving mode, basically using AI to drive your car, they had a debate like what should be our main KPI. And Elon Musk said it's miles over the number of interventions. I mean, it's miles, how many miles the car drives without the driver touching the wheel or interacting with the wheel, basically. And that they made as the key metric to hold accountable, to hold the team accountable every week to see how much we're progressing based on that one key metric. So for you, Elizabeth, if you're looking to make more money, yours is profit. So that just means there's two parts. One is increasing the revenue. I usually wouldn't mess around with cutting expenses. Cutting expenses usually makes your revenue go down. Instead, you're looking to always increase your revenue, but the goal is increasing the profit. All right. So make sure you have that down. What are the key steps that you need to take to accomplish this goal? These are like micro steps, whether it be putting a job post or going to a specific place to be able to find a vendor or using our resources, obviously. What does that take? What are the 3 steps? And please, share with me your 3 steps so we can have a good example so everybody's clear on our 3 steps. I could share with you mine. My one thing is to get one of our law firms, or my top law firm, to 1,000 clients per month. Right now we're at 350 per month. So we're looking to get that to 1,000. The way we're going to do that, number 1, my 3 steps is 1, make sure I have an amazing marketing team. That's step number 1. Number 2 is to basically go to every marketing source, marketing channel, traffic sources, and make sure I have the best person hired for that traffic source. The third is make sure to track everything and make sure that we're getting closer to this goal. Those are the 3 action steps. So somebody share with me what are your action steps for your one thing? Elizabeth shared 2023 sucked. Well, first of all, I'm pretty sure it didn't suck. That's one. Second is it's all about what we learn from that. So hopefully the 2024 law firm goals exercise that we did a couple of weeks ago, that was insightful about what are the lessons that we learned, and all the things that we're doing is to help you get clarity and learn from what was it about 2023 that could help you with 2024. But it's all a process. There's no feelings about this. It's just about looking at what we can do and how can we do it better. Well, it says more accountability among staff. That the steps are, number 1, getting the employee handbook, which should be done within a week. Number 2, rock solid SOP. Great. That could be done. We'll get to the deadlines. Number 3, systems, systems, and systems. The third one, what does systems mean to you? Define that. Implementing CRM, whatever that is, crystallize it. Jason, number 1, KPI, huddle once a month with my team. Great. Number 2, hire for 2 new roles. So I would clarify what those roles are. Number 3, time block on a weekly basis for my goals and specific implementation goals for each. But important is for each of those steps, what is the deadline for each of those steps? Okay. So look at your 3 steps and add a by when. Give a date. And every time we've done these, I've seen a lot of people like overestimate or underestimate. I was confused. Or is it overestimating? Either overestimate how long it takes to do these things. You could do a lot of these things within the next couple of weeks. So I challenge you, a lot of these steps that you have, can this be accomplished by end of January? Especially your first step. Your first step should be today. What can I do today to help me start the momentum of that? The employee handbook, great. Today I'm going to go finalize that by Tuesday. I want to have my employee handbook finalized. There we go. Jason, interviewed candidate right before the Zoom. Good. Having urgency towards whatever you got to accomplish, not just saying I'm going to do it in February, March. There's time today, there's time on Monday. So everybody put your urgent deadlines on it. Does it make sense to say that I want to increase my ad spend by 10% each month? Yeah, totally. 10% is actually very conservative. We just this month from December, we just jumped. We have a pretty high ad budget that we went up like 33%, and it's like big numbers. So yeah, no. The question, Elizabeth, that I always ask is, do I double it or do I cut it out? I don't necessarily double it, but I just ask a polarizing question to make a very hardcore decision. And then usually it's like a 20 to 50% increase. Okay. Just make sure you have a crystal clear timeline or deadline for each of those 3 steps that you just wrote. Now, important is, what are the resources and tools that you need to be able to accomplish this? Okay. Is there a specific tool that you need to sign up for? Is there a resource from us that you need to get? Is it what tools you have to use? Who do you have to hire for this to be done? A lot of these don't necessarily have to be you. It's just about the who. Who can I hire? Who can I hire to help me accomplish this? And Rennie shares successful case study. Philip Forex his ad spend based on SaaS recommendation only 2 weeks ago, and he got himself out of a cash flow issue just because he put fire in the flame. Amazing. I'm so glad. It's such a simple idea. We had a whole master around this. The easiest way to scale is spend more. Easiest way to scale. If you have an opportunity that's something that's profitable, you cannot do something that's easier and a high ROI than just spending more. So yes, totally. And very quick question. Again, what are the resources and tools that you need to be able to accomplish this one thing? Make sure you write that down very clearly. Or it could also be the who. Who do you have to hire for this? Write that down quickly. And any potential challenges. Let's just get that let's just put it down on paper. A lot of times we just put it down on paper. That will be the challenge will be put to rest by just putting it down on paper. So what are the potential obstacles that you need to get through? And how will you track and measure the progress of one thing? How would in 3 months whether you accomplish this? Sometimes it could be very straightforward. Well, if I hired the person, tell me that, well, I should have a person that I trust. If it's a revenue thing, well, check my QuickBooks on the first of every month to make sure that I'm profitable, to make sure I have this much revenue, whatever that is. How will you track if you're actually progressing? And now again, we're going to take all that stuff that we just worked on, the last 3 pages, is question, most important question of the year for you. And I want everybody to write this down. The question is, what is the one single most important action that I will focus on that will drive the greatest positive value for my law firm? That is, go ahead and write it down right now. One thing, crystal clear, specifics with deadlines. Take everything that you just incorporated and made juicier here, summarize it all here into these 1 to 3 lines. Go ahead and write that down, and please share. Everybody needs to share this in the chat. What is your one single most important thing? This is huge. Elizabeth, give me more than delegate. Come on, we just spent all these last couple pages to crystallize it, summarize all that, and make it very juicy. I want a juicy one. So make sure it's all relevant for your main goal. Bring it out, bring different parts of everything we worked on and put it into one sentence. Iman says, automate our law firm Canada so that we can start our employment law firm in the state of California. Good, but Iman, that could be much better. Is it a certain number of clients that you're looking to get to per month? What does automate mean for you? Is it for you to be hands off? Crystallize a little bit more. Jason says, weekly accountability group that knows my goals, track my KPIs weekly, but then and also do the same for my team. Measure what matters. Very good, but give me the numbers too. It's all about KPIs, so tell me what's the KPI you would like to get to, Jason. Sarah says, implement a technology team to automate everything. Good. So that what? so that fill in the rest so that maybe something about you. Mike says, optimize my Facebook ads campaign to generate 100 leads per month and 15 trust clients per month at a cost per acquisition of $20. I hope that you mean $200 at least. But yes, very good, Mike. It's the number of clients and the cost of acquisition is very clear exactly what you need to accomplish. If it would just said to launch a Facebook ads campaign, I would have been upset. So I'm glad you got that right, Mike. Albert says, find the right combination of investment in marketing advertisement, which balances well with product, with producing the amount of income I feel comfortable making while not having to work as an attorney and more as a law firm owner. It's good, Albert, but it could be much, much, much better. Exactly how much would you want to be spending? That leads to how much would you want to be making so that you could be not doing all these other things that you don't want to do while you're doing this other thing will make it much better. So define it. Take each of those phrases and just add more specifics to it. Play it safe early, and then later on you make money. But very good, and it's very clear. Good. Okay. I want everybody to make sure everybody has this one thing, very important. It cannot be a more important thing. I've done this one thing exercise every year. I try to have at least 3 goals. I've done intense goals. I've done 3 goals, but I always try to, at the minimum, try to have this one clear goal. It's very clear what that is. So go ahead and write your name, sign it, and date it. Please do that now. And please put in the chat right now, I commit to my one thing and nothing else matters. I commit to my one thing and nothing else matters. Go ahead and put that in chat. Good, Hudson. That is very clear and I love it. Good. I commit to my one thing and nothing else matters. It really doesn't. If you accomplish this one thing, there's no AI tool. There's no Facebook group post of this AppSumo tool that just came out. There's no this or that really matters. It's just this one thing.